Hi, I'm Dr. Sean Talbot. I'm a researcher and educator who studies how lifestyle can influence our health and well-being. You can read about some of my research and my programs at my website, seantalbot.com, and in my new book, Vigor, 7 Days to Unlimited Energy, Focus, and Well-Being at vigorbook.com. For the last decade, I've been studying something called vigor. Chances are, if you're like most other people living in an industrialized country anywhere in the world, your daily routine is hectic and stressful, you suffer from constant fatigue, you rarely sleep well, you continue to gain weight, and you're at least occasionally moody. In fact, you may be experiencing what we often refer to in psychology research as burnout. Psychology researchers describe the opposite state of burnout as something called vigor, which is defined as a three-tiered sustained mood state characterized by physical energy, emotional energy, and mental focus. As such, vigor is a true measure of wellness because it encompasses much more than simply feeling energetic or being in a good mood or having a sharp mind. People with high vigor scores are those can-do individuals who feel like getting things done. They're motivated. And for lots of people, vigor is a state that they have not experienced in many, many years. Feelings of low vigor are common in our modern stress-filled world. Millions of us succumb to chronic stress and end up feeling tired, stressed, depressed because of specific metabolic imbalances. Here I'm talking specifically about disruptions in hormones like cortisol and testosterone and in neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine. And those imbalances lead to feelings of reduced vigor. People will often ask me, can you restore vigor? And the answer, of course, is yes. However, very few people outside of the research community have ever even heard of vigor or have any idea that you can achieve it naturally by restoring metabolic balance. That's the balance between hormones and enzymes and neurotransmitters that becomes disrupted by chronic stress. We can attempt to temporarily reduce our fatigue with an energy drink or another stimulant, but that approach does not restore vigor. Instead, energy drinks and related options are inadequate solutions because they don't address the underlying cause of low vigor, which is metabolic imbalance. In fact, not only do energy drinks not restore vigor, they're more likely to increase tension and increase anxiety, which are two other indications of mood state that we can measure in our studies. But true vigor goes much beyond what most people associate with energy and fatigue. It really gets to the heart of how people want to feel. The modern scientific description of vigor can be compared to the ancient descriptions of vitality and wellness from traditional medicine systems from all around the world. In every ancient culture, there typically has been a common belief that true health stems from a strong life force in the body. Other names for this life force or vigor include qi in traditional Chinese medicine, or prana in Ayurvedic medicine or Indian medicine, and mana in Polynesian medicine, just to name a few. Chronic stress and the underlying metabolic disruptions that it leads to undoubtedly plays a major role in many of today's modern diseases, particularly depression, chronic fatigue, anxiety, fibromyalgia, and obesity. In fact, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the World Health Organization, 80% of North Americans have enough daily stress to cause health problems. Stress contributes to half of all illnesses in North America. 70 to 80% of all doctor visits are for stress-related diseases, and more than half of all deaths before age 65 result from stressful lifestyles. The good news is that by naturally restoring metabolic hormone balance, we can dramatically reduce feelings of stress, we can cut fatigue and depression by half, we can boost physical and mental energy, and we can significantly improve vigor. In the lab and the clinic, we measure vigor using a scientifically validated research tool called the Profile of Mood State Survey, or POMS, P-O-M-S. The PALMS has been used in more than 3,000 research studies, making it the true gold standard for assessing changes in mood state and in vigor following different interventions. Over the past 6 years, our group has conducted a series of human clinical studies in stressed volunteers. These studies were as short as 1 week and as long as 12 weeks, and all participants took an all-natural dietary supplement called Elaviv that you can learn more about in other parts of this website. These studies have shown that Elaviv can help to significantly improve vigor by 25 to 30% following a restoration of metabolic balance. This means that although chronic stress disrupts metabolic balance, we now know that restoring metabolic balance helps to improve feelings of vigor quickly within a week, and that those changes persist for months thereafter, indicating a unique and lasting improvement in overall well-being that is far superior to the fleeting and temporary effects of energy drinks and related products. These clinical trials have been presented at some of the top peer-reviewed scientific conferences in the world, including the American College of Nutrition, American College of Sports Medicine, the Obesity Society, the International Society for Sports Nutrition, and the American Society for Nutrition. In addition to the significant improvements in vigor, our studies also demonstrate that by restoring metabolic balance, typically by a factor of 15 to over 400%, we can improve overall well-being, also known as global mood state, by more than 20%, and reduce fatigue and reduce depression by nearly half. Remember that we can temporarily reduce fatigue with an energy drink or some other stimulant, but that would not increase vigor. And your results would really be a trade-off between reduced fatigue, which might be good, but also increased tension and increased anxiety, which is not good. True vigor goes much beyond what most of us associate with energy and fatigue. It really gets to the heart of how people want to feel. As I mentioned earlier, the term vigor is the opposite of burnout, physical fatigue, emotional exhaustion, and cognitive weariness that many people will, unfortunately, recognize as how they feel on a regular day-to-day basis. They might call it tired, stressed, and depressed. Vigor is the opposite of that feeling.